Hi, my name is Francisco Zaldan, and this is Randy Cook. We're here at the Florida International University campus interviewing Mr.
Kazim Hamed,
respectively from
Nigeria.
Okay. And part of this interview is this is a project for international management, class taught by unique TAMs. Now, this video interview is going to expound on cultures, shocks, clashes, and the different manners in which our friend from Nigeria here has gotten involved in the local culture, from the United States to an African difference. Would you tell me a little bit about your cultural background and the norms, values, beliefs that you see are similar?
Well, to begin, I come from a very prestigious tribe in Nigeria. Nigeria has three major dominant ethnic tribes: Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. I'm from the Yoruba tribe, and people in my tribe have this kind of norm to pursue education and discipline. Honestly, it's very, very important in our social fabric to have someone who's very, very hardworking. As a male, being able to take care of his family, brothers, sisters, wife, kids, and all that. And the cultural undertone in terms of values is very, very instructive, in the sense that you have people who have entrepreneurial skills. They try to develop their skills. They try to bring about development in the community. It's instructive to note that my tribe here has the largest number of educated Africans all over the world. So in terms of education, we are very, 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 very strong and very passionate about education. The Yoruba tribe is very, very passionate about education. So I think we have similar values here in the United States.
That's fascinating.
Thank you.
What was the main communication barrier, though, although when you came here?
Well, fortunately, I was a bit lucky because in Nigeria was colonized by the British, so we had English as our lingua franca in addition to our local dialect. So I didn't have much problems in my language communication because Americans speak English. So apart from Spanish, but
was it a culture shock failure?
Culture shock. I would say culture shock in terms of the values and norms here. In terms of like marriage. This might sound very surprising. The rate of divorce was a culture shock to me here. The way I think I can talk about that alone, because back home the divorce rate where I come from is very minimal. Let's say maybe 5 or less than 5%. But here I find it's like more than half of the population. It was a shock to me in terms of the culture.
And that's important that you reveal that to us, your feeling around that subject. It is part of a stereotype nonetheless. Let me ask you a question relating to negotiating styles. How do you think that the countries vary in the similarities and differences of negotiating styles and bargaining?
I think here in the United States, it's a capitalist system. It's a survival of the fittest. So I would say it's vicious. You have to know what you want, and you don't let anybody take you for a ride. Back home, it's not that, if I'm to rate it, I'd say this negotiation skills and like the go-getting attitude is higher here than what we have back home. Although we have it, but it's not as, profound as what we have here. It's very, very, it was, okay, I was also say that was part of the culture shock too, because people just want to get it, and if you don't get it, it's like.
And I think it has to do with part of our individualistic culture, and being that Nigeria would be more inclined to group collectivism.
Yes, that's a major feature of African communal living. We have these interrelations, community, family orientation. Here it's like we say something back home, OYO. That means on your own. That's United States. If you don't have anybody, it's individualistic tendencies. It's not that that's bad. That's good because if you look at the number of millionaires, billionaires in the world, many of them are from the United States. They are go-getters, you know. But Africa, we are more of a communal. You know, we tend to lean on, you know, on each other, and I think there's always room for improvement. We can learn from other cultures. So.
And, so has this been the only culture shock that you felt throughout your life?
No other one readily comes to mind now, but that was the most profound one I felt when I got here, because now you have to relate with people based on what is existing, you know. But I can't really think of any other one. Although I've been to United Kingdom and some other parts of Europe, but that was when I was a little bit younger, so I might not be able to like relate with what I experienced there. But as an adult, I've seen quite a little here in the United States. But that issue is very, very, I don't know, I'm passionate about it. Maybe that's why I just brought it up.
Do you remember one specific time or experience where you felt at that point that there was something strikingly different about the culture that you came from and the one that you came to find?
In terms of...
just one particular experience, maybe a day, it could have been recently, or even when you had just got here.
I think when I came in through JFK, and I remember one thing that was very, very interesting was the smell of coffee.
Smell of coffee, really?
I smelled coffee. I didn't know it was coffee initially, because in my part of the country we don't really drink. We drink coffee, but not as, I don't know, as religiously people here, you know. And I was just smelling the nice smell. I love it because, you know, it's like you just you transited from one world to another.
Yeah.
Overnight I was in my country, you know, acclimatized with the smell. But the next day I just experienced something different. At GFK, I said, this is very interesting. You know? And I was even offered coffee there.
Okay. Now, coffee is something that Americans consume daily, and I think the whole world knows that. Randy, do you have any further questions?
How is working in your country different from working in our country?
Well, Africa, and now I'm talking as I'm trying to be general now. Africa still has a lot to learn from the United States and from the developed world. I had mixed experiences back home. Pleasant ones, good ones, and the other not so good. Working back home, you didn't have much access to, latest technology like what we have here. There's like continuous push into the market of new technologies, and people get to try them easily. But there, you have to be trained. But here, although you have to be trained here, but it's like the technology was given back to here, so it's kind of different from the orientation, because usually they'll get someone from the United States or from the first world to come over and teach us. But here, it's.
So you guys are trained from someone from the U.S.?
Yeah, mostly a foreigner, and I think we still have a lot to learn in terms of,
Advancing
business and technology.